Welcome back. This is episode 141 of the NYYST podcast. I'm your host, Christian. As always, joined by my co-host, Chris.
You.
And Stat Guy, Ryan.
What up?
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, man. I didn't draft any New York Giants because I know you didn't listen to the last pod, and I mentioned it. Really, Saquon Barkley was the only one worth drafting,
Yeah, I mean, who else are you going to draft? I mean, you probably take a shot on Evan Ingram late.
Yeah, true.
Okay.
We're about to go into the playoffs for Major League Baseball, and you guys are talking about...
I had to get that out of my chest because
You're talking about football.
Christian Witch torn ACLs for all of my team. So,
Well, you chose the fantasy draft over coming to do the show, so it was
Right,
kind of something that you deserved.
you could bring your mic like closer and right in the center of you, right? Like that's why it's on an arm.
I'm good, bro.
You good?
Speaking of on an
I'm
arm,
good.
let's get this out of the way right off the bat here, okay? Because this is our new...
When we talk to one another too, we just look up. You
this
like
is our new setup here. We're all sitting up on the same side of the table here, and it was Chris's. It's nice and nifty. Like if you don't watch us on YouTube, and maybe you should check us out on YouTube. Chris, how would you find us on YouTube?
You go to YouTube, you type in NYYST or NYYST podcast will pop right up. Subscribe, like our videos, and make sure if you listen on iTunes or anywhere else, you subscribe and leave us a 5-star rating and review.
Okay, so, but if you are an avid podcast listener, meaning you listen to us through iTunes or any other, I don't know, how else do people listen to podcasts? I don't know.
Honestly, iHeartRadio has become very big.
Okay. So if that's how you listen to this show, then you wouldn't see this. But we're all sitting on the same side of the table here. Chris has come up with this nice nifty thing where it looks like we're talking through Topps baseball cards. It's really a nice
appealing.
It's a nice looking thing that he set up here. But if you're a longtime listener to the show here, you know that he is owed a punch in the face by Ryan, which now he so conveniently stuck me in the middle of the two of them.
Baby!
Yeah, this is hard.
Why don't you just meet me in the middle?
Plus, it's my weaker side, so
So, yeah. So, look.
You can get me.
I can't get you. See, you're smart. Look, I know. I like to say that you're stupid, and you are, but you're smart enough to know.
He's like Kaiser Soze over there.
He's smart enough to realize that he can't get punched in the face from where you two are, especially with me in the middle.
I swore on the Yankees winning the World Series this year and I told you this, and I was honest. When I did this, I was not thinking about it until literally 5 minutes before you guys showed up.
Then he's like, yeah, like this is good. I'm not getting punched in the face now.
I'm not.
No, I'll get him. I got long arms.
It'll make it that much sweeter when he gets me.
Oh, you know
It's
what?
going to hurt, too.
I'm a little bit disappointed.
We'll
But
figure it out.
But
hopefully you did not miss out on our sale that we ran last week. So we're going to get it out of the way nice and early today. The code is gone. The one for the buy one, get one for $1 is gone. Now it's Labor Day weekend. New code. What do you want to go with the code here?
let's go. Since what are we dropping? The Gary shirt?
Sure.
Since it's Labor Day and Gary's lazy, right? How about lazy 24?
Okay.
Right?
Okay. So
He doesn't labor. He's lazy.
Huh.
So let's go lazy 24.
LAZY
LAZY.
LAZY 24. And how many home runs has Gary Sanchez hit this year?
I think 34.
No, it's important. Let's look it up. Let's get an accurate number. How many home runs has Gary Sanchez hit this year?
Well, he had 2 today.
I think he hit 33 and 34. I think it shows up right on the stupid ESPN app that I use for some reason. Good win today.
Gary Sanchez has hit 32 home runs.
32. Okay.
So use the code LAZY24 and it will save you 32%. 32% for 1% for every home run that Gary Sanchez has hit this year. Code, again, LAZY24 will save you 32% off at checkout.
Just that t-shirt or all t-shirts?
What do you want to do?
You tell me.
You want to
bro.
open it up to everything? It's Labor Day weekend?
Yes,
All right.
everything.
Everything on the shop.
Your entire order.
Your entire order, 32% off. Every 1% for every home run Gary has knocked out of the ballpark this year. Code @LazyTwenty4,
Lazy.
which will be active until the next time.
Now,
we
Ryan doesn't
record.
fully know this unless he listened, but we are not posting this anywhere.
Nowhere.
So if you retweet when I drop the Gary shirt, do not post the Lazy24 code. It is exclusive to only to people who watch or listen to the show.
Yes, you have to listen to the pod or watch the pod. It's exclusive to our listeners and viewers. Okay.
I like that.
So some people did take advantage of the buy one get one for $1 last week. So we were very pleased with that. So let's keep it rolling here. 32% off your entire order. Anything you want. Boom. Lazy24.
And I love this shirt.
Yeah, this is my favorite
I
one
can't
yet.
wait to get it.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right. What else? Let's do another little bit of bookkeeping. We're recording here Saturday night. I'm going to be gone for the rest of the weekend.
Thank God.
These two knuckleheads are going to the game tomorrow, so Chris can be miserable.
No, I'm actually excited.
Oh, now he's excited because he had to be a miserable prick when he went with me to the game, but now he's going with other people. He's excited.
Mike
He's
Messina
excited.
Day.
Mike Messina Hall of Fame Day. So we figured, you know what? Labor Day weekend, people might be doing a little traveling to the beach, a barbecue tomorrow. Let's do pod Saturday night. Get it out for everybody to listen Sunday morning when they might be going to wherever the hell they're going. Because you know what? Truth be told, numbers aren't usually great on holiday Monday. So So you know what?
Yeah.
You got an extra day to listen now.
Yeah.
Okay. So there you go.
I actually throw, if you watch us on YouTube, you get it firsthand because I usually throw the video out right away because YouTube and the videos play better at night and on the weekends actually, which is different than the podcast, the actual audio. So either way.
I think people become creatures of habit with the audio.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it is like commuting to work, being in the car.
Yeah, so when you're commuting to the beach or commuting to your barbecue.
Or sitting on the beach and relaxing on the beach or relaxing by the pool.
Or you're commuting to the game tomorrow, listen to the pod. Here we go.
You sounded very New Yorkish just now. Tomorrow. Commuting to the game tomorrow. I'm going to start doing Christian translations.
Here's this translation for you. Go fuck yourself. Okay. Here we go. Yanks today win 4-3-11. Beat the Oakland Athletics. I know a lot of Yankees Twitter thought that the Yankees could never, ever beat the Oakland A's, but they did prove that they could today. Domingo Germán was solid, 2 runs over 5 innings. He was around, 85 pitches or so?
Around there. And I think he was actually right at 86.
So you maybe figured he could have won another one. He did labor a little bit. Boone went out there, and I loved it. I really loved this. He went out there, and he stuck his finger right in Domingo Germán's chest and told him to knock this shit off and go get this guy. And what did he do?
And he did it.
And he went out and he got him.
And you know what? That was one of the best batters he faced all game after that. His breaking stuff looked nasty. He was breaking in his back foot, and he got him.
So Boone went out there, pepped up his. You gotta call him his ace, right? He's pretty much pitched like an ace most of the season this year. He went out there and got the out that he needed from him, and
the bullpen took care of the rest. Kind of.
Ottavino was a little shaky today. What do I want to say here? You could have probably sent Germán out for the 6th inning. Are the Yankees being a little cognizant of his innings now as we're approaching September?
Yes, and I think over the last few games, you can really start to see that transition now for the Yankees that we've been talking about over the last few weeks where, yes, home field, that's on our minds, that's on their minds, but first priority is making sure these guys are fresh, making sure they get healthy. We got another fucking injury today, which is just insane. Maybe possibly 2 injuries. Did anything come out on Chapman?
I didn't hear anything. Maybe it was
because he looked injured to me, and we both said it. You said it, and I was thinking it. But you're starting to see that transition right now. I feel like he was quick to pull Germán. Who pitched yesterday?
Huh?
Who pitched yesterday?
Sabathia.
That's who pitched the day before.
They were off.
And Paxton was
And
the day
Paxton
before
pitched
that.
the day before.
Okay. I think someone was pulled yesterday too after CC, and I don't know. I've been realizing
What do you mean somebody got pulled after CC? He
Someone
went
who
to Cessa for 2 innings, and they had a lead, so then he was going to roll out the bullpen, but Tommy Kahnle had a rear bat.
that's what it was. Now I've been seeing over the last couple of games just down by a run or two, where the whole year he's been still going to some of his bigger guys in those situations. It's becoming the Nestor Cortezes and the Guerins now, where unless they have a lead, he's not throwing his big guys.
They were down today, and he went to his big guys.
No.
Yes.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did. Who pitched when they were down 3-2? Who
Really?
came in the game?
Ottavino.
Yeah, but who came in when it was 2-2?
That because I think after yesterday he was trying to avoid using Tommy Kahnle today. I think
Mhm.
that was his plan. He wanted to try to stay away from Tommy Kahnle.
What's the plan with Guerin? Just throw him until his arm falls off?
You know what? He's been pretty
Yeah,
solid
probably.
since he came here.
He's good. Hey, he's got a good ERA. He's got a respectable ERA.
His ERA was. I mean, I was surprised that they Seattle put him on waivers, considering that they are
Maybe
terrible.
because he's a fucking liability.
How's he a liability?
Because he balks. It looks like he's gonna balk every single time.
Yeah, but that's not a balk.
No. Yeah, it was the other night.
That
Right.
was a little scummy of a move on Seattle's part. Like you just trade
Yes,
this guy.
it was.
You know what his situation is, and
You
then
knew
you're
why.
like,
You knew why they brought it to the umpire's
the
attention.
second that he comes into the game, you try to call him out on it. And
Yeah,
then,
but look, that's what you do when you're irrelevant, right?
hey,
you-
you know what? And then what the umpires, a bunch of like blind monkeys running around out there, like I don't know what to do, and then they call a balk on it, and then like the next day, Major League Baseball is like, oh, it's not a balk, and then they were
Did
like,
they come out and say that?
yes.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they did. They came out and say just as the same time they came out and said, "Oh, Gleyber Torres should have been allowed to score on this."
So
on
is this
Saturday
Major
night."
League Baseball's way of holding the umpires accountable lately?
I guess
Because I've never. Now this is twice in a week or so that Major League Baseball has come out and actually said their umpires were wrong, and I have never seen that before.
Well, the Yankees asked for clarification on it. They need to know if this guy's move is illegal or not. So it's not like they just came out and said, "Oh, Corey Guerin's move is legal." The Yankees asked Major League Baseball to give them a ruling on it, just like they want a clarification on the rule with Gleyber Torres, and Major League Baseball's like, "Yeah, you should have won that. You're tied. That game should have been tied in the 9th inning there."
Right?
Who was
Which
the
is
home
great.
plate umpire in today's game, dude? That was the worst umpire I've
No,
ever seen.
I disagree,
He was
dude.
terrible.
I disagree. He was frustrating.
You should watch it again and watch. He had different zones. If a lefty was up, he would call the high and outside pitch a strike. And if a righty was up, he wouldn't call that a strike. He'd only call the low and outside pitch a strike. He had two different zones depending on which foot the batter was using.
I don't know. I thought that he was a hitter's umpire, and he was a hitter's umpire all game.
I mean, Loizaga threw a strike pretty much right down the middle, high up a little bit, and he called it a ball.
All right, so let's talk about Jonathan Loizaga here before we get into a little bit of the past, because you guys came on, you did a bonus show after the Seattle series, so I don't think we really need to touch on that much before we talk about the two Oakland games. Jonathan Loizaga, this guy's got really nasty stuff.
He does.
99, he's got a really good breaking ball.
No, he does.
And what's his issue? He cannot throw strikes.
His issue is that
He can't throw strikes.
his issue is
Is that he
that
can't throw strikes? I just said
is that
it.
he's been hurt.
It's a rhetorical question. His issue is he can't throw strikes. I already know what the answer is.
Well, why? But why can't he throw strikes?
He couldn't throw strikes last year either when he came up.
Yeah,
And,
and he hasn't had time to work on it,
oh, that's why they keep sending him down to AAA. That's what that was book on
and
him.
he keeps getting hurt. Give the kid time. Give the kid time to
All right.
be
First-
healthy, stay healthy, and work on it.
What was the book on him when he came up last year? His numbers look better than they might in the big leagues because guys
Right.
have a higher chase rate down in the minor
Right.
leagues.
Yeah,
And-
didn't he
and
walk
made-
more in his first major league start than he did in his
I think he
entire
walked
time
like
in the
4
minors?
guys, and like
Yeah,
before he
first
can
two innings.
But that's why his stuff translates so well in the minor leagues because it's friggin' filthy.
His stuff
You're
will
right.
translate really well in the big leagues if he could learn to command his zone better. So today, I don't know, you guys can disagree with me. Today was an audition for Jonathan Loizaga.
For the postseason, you think?
Absolutely.
And how do you think he did?
I think that he passed, but with like a C-. He didn't give up any runs.
Good enough to still consider him.
I don't know, man. I don't think he's done anything to eliminate himself from the process, but I wouldn't give him an automatic spot on the postseason roster based on what I saw today.
Here's where I like Jonathan Loáisiga in the postseason. He's not a guy unless over the last however many games that he comes in, unless he is lights out, barely walking anyone. It's not. And that means that I'm not confident bringing him in a situation where I'm expecting him to get more than 2 or 3 outs.
No, he's got to start an inning clean. You're not going to bring him. He's not going to be what I like to call a fire extinguisher.
Right. He's gonna come in against the guy who has a really difficult time hitting breaking balls, and that's all he's going to throw.
I don't know. Could you use him as a? See, this is the problem though. Like if you're trying to figure out where Jonathan Loáisiga fits in the postseason, it's when you're going to use him in a situation where you're not getting length out of your starter.
Yes.
Right.
So you almost don't want to see Jonathan Loáisiga in the postseason.
But aren't you going to do that with Chad Green? I mean, isn't that going to be Chad Green's role too?
Not really. It all really depends on what Luis Severino comes back and shows you. Because if Luis Severino is going to come back and be a guy that can give you 4 innings, then you're probably going to go Chad Green open. Then Sevy as your bulk guy, and into the bulk
which is what Ryan was saying,
into your top 4. Yes,
Yeah.
Ryan invented that ideology right there. He was the only one in the history of the world that had said that.
Thank you for giving me credit. For
I am.
that.
You had it first.
Thank you.
You had it first.
he did.
I don't know if Loáisiga fits with this team in the postseason. I don't think he complements anyone else.
All right, but here's where I'll argue you a little bit. You're gonna need to fill that bullpen up, right? Who's better outside of our main guys? Who's better than Loáisiga in the pecking order at that point?
All right, so you figure in the postseason the Yankees are probably going to carry. What do you want to say? You want to say they're going to carry 12 pitchers?
Yeah, 12.
You figure they'll have their 9 everyday guys, and you can probably go with an extra bench guy.
Yes.
Okay, so write it down here. Write this down. Get me to 12. Get me to 12.
Let's do it.
All right, get me to 12. So obviously,
Start with the starters.
you know your locks are Tanaka, Herman,
Paxton.
All right. You want to put an asterisk next to Severino because we can always go back to him. All right. So those you would say right now those are probably your starters, right?
Yes.
Okay. So then your bullpen is Chad Green, Ottavino, Britton, Canely, and Chapman. So where are we at right now? 9. So you might have 3 spots left open. All right. So don't get into it any deeper.
Okay.
Because I want to devote a whole segment to this later. CC Sabathia, is he on the postseason roster?
No.
Okay, I agree with that. Do you, Ryan?
No, I don't think he'll even be healthy enough.
J Happ, does J Happ get a postseason roster spot?
Absolutely.
You think Happ will be on the postseason roster?
Yes.
What about you, Ryan?
I would lean towards yes, but I'd also have to see how he finishes out the year.
Here's why you said don't go into it, right?
No. I want you to you can break down everybody else except for CC because I want to give CC his
what about
own
Dylan
segment.
Betances?
Let me get with Happ real quick.
Yeah, get with Happ.
Here's where I say definite with Happ. He's a lefty.
All right, how does that come into play though?
Because
I'm not challenging. I just want to hear your thought process here.
You're going to use guys differently, right? J Happ is absolutely not getting a start in the postseason.
So I want to hear you out on this. So I want to ask questions. I want to rebuttal what you're saying here.
Right.
Not to be confrontational, just because I want to hear your thought process here. Are you using J Happ as a situational lefty then?
Possibly.
Oh no, I'm not doing that.
But
absolutely not.
But let me finish my thought, and maybe you'll agree with me.
Okay.
The main reason why I like J Happ, not just for situational.
You like bald guys.
I love bald guys.
Okay, so there you go.
Because I think that J Happ, being a veteran, not only gives them a good presence in the clubhouse and all that, because he'd be there anyway, but he's also had a lot of experience against a lot of these guys. So you might have a guy that you're facing in the postseason that J Happ has faced and has really good numbers against in a big spot. If you have 3 spots open, who in that point is he taking a spot over?
All right, so that's fair. Who's he taking a spot over? So let's figure it out. Does he deserve it?
The only way I will disagree with myself is if you can show me a guy that it would come down to him or Happ and he's more valuable.
I'll tell you
Who?
Jordan Montgomery.
No,
I don't
you're
think
not
he's-
going to throw a guy in the postseason who hasn't thrown a pitch all year.
Jordan
All right,
Mon-
so then Severino's not pitching then.
That's different.
No, it's not. You just said that you're not throwing a guy that hasn't pitched all year. So then Severino's off this list. I'll cross him out right now.
to me, I'm
'Cause
going
that's
to
what you
agree.
just
I'm
said.
gonna-
That's way
to-
different.
No, it's not. You literally just said if a pitcher hasn't pitched all season, then he won't pitch in the postseason.
Okay, so
then change your
so
thought.
I'll be more detailed. You're not going to throw some kid
Yeah, change it,
Severino's
Chris.
a kid.
Yeah, Chris, change it.
Keep changing it.
who's a lefty junk pitcher who doesn't. How hard does he throw? 90. Who you've seen a little bit of over the last year and a half or so, but he's been hurt the entire year. Didn't he have Tommy John?
He did.
And you're just going to throw him into a postseason game when even if he wasn't hurt, you still don't know what he is
Severino-
truly going into this season. Severino is a proven
How can
pitcher.
you not say the same thing about Severino after
Well,
the second
Severino-
half he had last
This
year?
is Severino's third postseason. It would be his third postseason.
and
now.
Severino's also going to come back before the postseason if he's ever going to come back.
so
They're
is
not
Jordan Montgomery. He literally just had a bullpen.
okay. So that's different.
Did he start today?
If he's going to come back and pitch,
he might have started with.
if he's going to start in
today or
games,
yesterday, he might have started with the Real Riders.
if he's going to start in games this year and he's effective, absolutely he's a thought. But I'm talking right now that you're telling me Jordan Montgomery is a better, more valuable person than J Happ. You can't say that right now. If he comes back and he's lights out, yeah, he is. 100%.
He pitched 1 2/3, 2 hits, 1 run. It was unearned. 3
All
strikeouts.
right, so he's not really stretched out.
Mm.
I don't know. See, the difference between him and Severino is your ace. Jordan Montgomery's a back in the rotation guy. Not saying that Jordan Montgomery can't help you, but if you're comparing him to Severino, what would you rather the Yankees do? Put Severino on the roster if all things are equal, or Jordan Montgomery on the
Yes.
roster?
No, if it's down to those two, absolutely go Severino.
Whose
It's not a
stuff is
question.
better? Whose stuff is going to translate
Severino.
better? And
You need to see a lot less out of Severino than you do from Montgomery coming
I
back.
agree with that. I think Jordan Montgomery really needs to blow you
Right.
away.
And if he does and it comes down to him or Hap, at this point, 100% I'd rather go with Jordan Montgomery. But as we're talking right now, I asked you to give me a guy who
the Yankees, if
is
the
more
Yankees saw
valuable.
Severino and he was okay in September, they're going to put him on the postseason
Right.
roster. Jordan Montgomery's got to go out there and pitch like fucking Randy Johnson. No, I'm being serious.
Yeah, no,
in
I
order to
agree.
get on the
and
roster.
not Yankee Randy Johnson.
No,
Like,
Randy Johnson, real Randy Johnson,
Right.
Not Fugazi, New York Randy Johnson. All right, so we're still at 9,
Yes.
and Sevy's still a question mark, so we might even be at 8.
Right.
yeah, Jesus.
I got to look at the roster.
That's
right?
crazy. We got to be
free.
free. We got Britton on there, right?
Ben Heller pitched 2 innings today too, 2 strikeouts, no runs.
Oh, Ben Heller's throwing again?
yeah,
I
he'll
want to
be
see.
up tomorrow.
It'd
probably.
be interesting if he gets called up tomorrow.
I don't see why he wouldn't get called up.
Shoot
All
him a
right,
text.
here we go. Right now, Luis Cessa. Is Luis Cessa making the postseason roster?
Yes. If we're struggling to find names right now,
All right, write these names. Write them down like over here in the second column, and then we'll.
If
we'll
we're
get
struggling
I'm
to
writing down those.
them. Okay, so CC Happ. All right, that's good.
Cessa.
Cessa,
You got to
Nest-
throw Cortez. Right?
Nestor Cortez. Yeah, I'm going off the roster now.
Okay.
Nestor Cortez. This way I don't just commit things to memory. Corey Guerin.
Guerin could make a case for himself.
He could.
I don't know. Guys like, see, there's the thing. Like guys like Tarpley and Holder are still on the IL. Are they gonna? I don't know. I haven't heard anything on them. Would they be considered if they were healthy? Maybe Holder. I don't know. Maybe Tarpley. I don't know. Well, let's go based on just guys that are healthy right now, and we'll include Betances in there because I think the Yankees really want Betances and Severino here. So you have what? How many names still down there?
6.
6 for 3 spots.
Yes.
Read them off again now
The-
that we have them
The
all
question
written down.
marks are CC, Happ, Cessa, Cortez, Guerin, and Dylan Betances.
Man, I mean,
6 guys for 3 spots.
if we can assume that Sevy and Betances are going to come back and be effective, let's put them in. Let's do the first half of this with assuming they're going to come back and be healthy. So let's throw them into the definitely on the postseason roster.
So add Betances.
Yeah,
Add Betances and count Sevy, and then tell me where we're at.
we're at 10.
We're at 10 with 5 remaining.
I gotta put Happ in there just because if somebody comes up lame or I need 3 or 4 innings, who else you going to go with?
Yeah. And again, he might be facing, there might be a lot of guys and whoever they're facing that he has a history against. And you're confident throwing him against these guys.
No, I'm not confident throwing him against anybody, okay? I wouldn't be confident that he could strike
confident
out.
with him over Stephen Tarpley or Jonathan Holder at this point.
It's like, do I want to get hit by an 18-wheeler?
Right, exactly.
Or do I want to get hit
by a motorcycle?
Or do I want to get hit by a tank? Like,
right.
Which one is really worse?
It's picking your poison at this point.
You would have to group Hap with Cortez and Cessa because as we have a constructor right now, there's not a long reliever, so they need a long reliever.
I would give it to Hap.
I would too.
All right, so put Hap on there. So now this is what we're left with.
And don't forget Montgomery too. I'm writing him on the question mark just in case.
All right, you can do that, but
all right, we'll see. We'll see.
All right, so now we got one spot left for CC, Cessa, Cortez, Guerin, and Montgomery. I'm voting off Jordan Montgomery.
So am I.
All right, so sorry, Ryan. 2 out of 3 votes.
Man, I
think Jordan
you guys
Montgomery
are
has
so wrong on this that you can just write.
Why
him
are
off.
you so
Because he's a
confident in
great.
him?
He was a really good pitcher for this team. He gave them innings. He gave them work, and he keeps the team in it every time he pitched. Pretty much. I mean, what was his ERA? He was throwing in the 3s every time.
The whole point of this fucking exercise was to see if Jonathan Wysick had a spot on the roster, and we didn't even write his name down.
So I think at this point, though, we've made our case that there is a spot for him.
There
because
definitely is a spot for him.
Who's more valuable than him at this point?
All right, can I just look at this? All right, so if we assume that Dellin Betances and Sevy are healthy, this is what you got. You got Tanaka, Herman, Paxton, Severino, Green, Ottavino, Britton, Canely, Chapman, Betances, Hap, and you give the final spot to Loizica?
Yeah.
Over Cessa. Over Cortez.
Yeah.
I honestly, the fact that Luis Cessa is still on this team is just making me think that they want to use him in certain spots in the postseason if they have to. Like I know he isn't good, but they seem to be very comfortable with him in certain spots.
I think if Betances is not healthy, Loizica and Cessa are locks for the roster.
But do you agree? Now, here's a tough question because Cessa might suck, but the dude can throw strikes, whereas Loizica, you don't know what you're getting. Who do you trust more in the postseason if you have to use one of the two? And that's a big if. You're hoping that you don't have to. Or if you do use them, you're using them in a game where you're scoring a lot of runs. Who do you trust more?
I would trust Cessa more.
I would trust a hurricane to come and wash Yankee Stadium away.
Shouldn't even joke right now. Isn't Florida getting slammed right now?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, Chris.
Did you know Randy, our boy Randy, lives down there now?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
You don't know anything.
It's Randy.
Randy Natolio.
Randy Natolio.
Anyway, yes,
God,
okay,
you just
because
gave the
now
guys
people, because
friggin'
Chris
life
had to
info
call attention to it, and now people are going to be offended. Yes, hurricanes are serious situations. We live in New Jersey. We've dealt with enough of our own serious flooding and destruction from hurricanes. If you were offended by the joke, then I do not apologize because it was not meant to be offensive.
It wasn't a joke, really. It was
just like, hey,
kind of
I
a
would
fact.
rather a storm come and wash Yankee Stadium away than have to
see
there
one of those guys in a
pitch
big spot.
get big outs in the postseason. Okay,
and I agree with you. I honestly, I'm taking the guy who might not throw as many strikes as you want him to, but can strike out almost any good hitter.
So if
in the major leagues
Betances
right now,
and Severino are healthy, you have one spot open right now. You're telling me you're giving it to Loizica.
Yes.
What do you say, Ryan?
I'm giving it to Cessa. I think that the fact that he's been on this team the whole year says a lot about him because he had no options left. He had to pitch at his best.
But let me ask you
he wanted
something.
to play the whole. Okay, what?
If everyone was healthy,
yeah,
from the start of the season at least through the summer, would he still be here?
I don't know, man. I mean, every year there's injuries, so that's a tough question to answer.
I'm only asking you because you said it says a lot, and I agree with you. That was my case for him. But I'm asking you because what is the reason why he's still here? Is it because the Yankees value him, or is it because
'Cause
they
he hasn't
couldn't
been-
afford to get rid of him?
I mean, we all like to poke fun at the guy, say he sucks, but he hasn't been
He
bad.
hasn't been.
The
He's had
Yankees have-
some
He's
bad
been great.
outings. He's had some pretty bad outings.
Okay, Masahiro Tanaka gave up 12
No,
runs.
I know.
You want to kick him off the postseason roster too? Everybody has a bad outing, but the Yankees might have found a role that works for Luis Cessa.
Yeah.
They might realize now, hey, you know what? Luis Cessa is not a spot starter. Luis Cessa is not a guy that I want to throw 4 or 5 innings in a spot start. Luis Cessa
You're right.
is not a guy that I can count on to be, like a 7th or 8th inning guy. But Luis Cessa can give me 2 innings here.
So,
Maybe-
Rye, you're saying you would take Cessa over Loizaga if it came down
If
to
it
the
came
two.
down to those two, for this reason alone, out of those two pitchers, which one is more likely to implode? Who would you say?
That's such a tough question.
That is a tough question.
See, because I don't think it's tough. I think it's Loizaga. It's not. It's just
But have you really seen him implode?
I think Loizaga
when his first year
See,
with
the
was that last
difference-
year? Yeah, he imploded pretty much every time he started. He would give up walks, and then that was it.
Cessa's stuff is not bad.
No, Cessa actually has some decent stuff. I see what the Yankees have seen in him. But I just think that when I'm looking at these two guys, if they're going to be used in a serious role in any way, I'm looking for the guy who has the better chance of coming in and dominating the hitter and striking his ass out and not even letting him put the ball in play. And for me, at that point, I'm going with the Loizaga because either he's going to walk the guy or he has the stuff to strike him out.
Yeah, he can.
And I think Cessa's more of a contact hitter, contact pitcher.
He can easily walk 9 guys in an inning.
Well, you're not going to use him and allow him to do that. You're going to bring him in and hope that he can minimize any damage that's already been
Okay,
been
so
done
the
the inning
point is
before.
that the Yankees don't really want to count on either of those two guys for big outs. To be honest, like if we're being honest, they don't want to count on either of those two guys for big outs.
Correct.
But if you're saying that one has to make the roster, you're going with Loizaga,
I would go with Loizaga, yes.
and Ryan wants Luis Cessa.
Yes.
Luis Cessa.
Is Loizaga still our number 1 pitching prospect right now?
No, Devi Garcia.
Devi.
Right.
So that's if we have Betances on there healthy. If Betances is not healthy, then I think they're both making the roster.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I don't
Okay.
see why not.
Okay. Would you be in agreement with that, Ryan?
Yeah.
Ryan just got it.
Sorry, no. Because I'm looking up stats, bro. I'm stat guy, right?
Oh yeah, no.
But this is why I go Cessa. 70 innings pitched, 25 walks. For Loizaga, 19 and a third innings pitched, 10 walks.
Yeah, it's way too many.
Yeah, he walks a lot of guys.
All right,
But how many
so I want
strikeout-
a guy that has a better chance of getting outs. And out of those two, for me, it's Luis Cessa.
How many innings does Loizaga have?
19 and a third.
That's
Okay.
not updated because you're
All
on
right,
baseball
okay.
reference.
Yeah, well, then he has more
Who cares?
walks. and he has
I
more
don't. I
innings.
don't need it to be updated.
You don't wanna
How
be
many
accurate.
strikeouts does he have?
Not updated, 19.
Okay, so he's pretty much obviously averaging a strikeout an inning. And what does Luis Cessa have?
67.
How many?
70.
Okay,
So he's averaging almost a strikeout. in
Yes.
innings.
Yeah.
And a much higher
so
sample size.
so you know what? At that point, right? I might have to sway to your side there. That
Because
maybe
you
it
don't
is
want
Cessa-
you don't
because
even
you've seen more out of Cessa.
you don't want to have to use either of those guys, right? But if you had to, you want the guy that has a track record that can just get outs, because that's all you're going to want out of that part anyway,
Okay.
out of that role.
Yeah.
So
So
Cessa.
So Cessa, I'm going Cessa. then.
Now what if CC's like, guys, my knee feels great. I feel like
Nope.
I'm 25 again.
No.
That's great.
Too much of a liability at this point, and I think he knows that. I think the Yankees know it, and I think they'll all be in agreement that he just shouldn't be on this roster. You guys know, no one loves this guy more than I do. On
I'm sure
this
his
team.
wife does.
For the team.
Yeah, that's always been your favorite.
My favorite.
But I'm sorry, he just and Christian. I read the thing you retweeted that Feinstein tweeted out, and I read the replies because you were saying how fans were just ripping him, and I was so heated going through it because the things that these fans can say about this guy blows my fucking mind. Seriously.
Yeah, it's
I agree he should not be on the postseason roster. Yes.
It's not about that.
But the way these fans talk about him is fucking disgusting.
It's disgraceful, to be
It
honest
really
with you.
is. It really is. And you should be ashamed of yourself. You call yourself a fan. It's a joke. Absolute joke.
Yeah, I was I don't know. I just happened to see some of the replies, and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, that's how you're gonna speak of this guy, that he's being selfish. How's he
Selfish.
I don't understand the notion that CC Sabathia is being selfish because he's trying to go out there and help the team win games. He's trying to take innings off, so the bullpen doesn't have to be taxed as much as it is. It's not like the Yankees are sitting on like 9 or 10 different starters that they could throw out there.
Right.
Let me ask you a question. You go to a job, right? You go to a new job, you sign a contract. You're a few years into your contract, let's say, and you got an injury, you're hurt, whatever, and you're trying to show up to work every day and be the best guy that you can be. Is that you being selfish? Or is that you trying to do the job that you were signed to do? Whether you want to believe it or not, if the Yankees felt he was a liability or a hindrance to this team, they would be sure to tell him. They are never going to feel that way about CC Sabathia. So it's his obligation to try and get healthy and do what he needs to do to make this team better.
Here's the funny part. Everybody wants to make fun of guys like Ellsbury and Bird and even Stan, that they don't care. They don't try to. They're injured all the time. They don't want to play. They just want to collect their checks. And here's the guy like CC Sabathia, whose body is falling apart. The guy is at the finish line of his career, and he's just trying to get on the field to help his team.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said in the post game yesterday that out of 10 scale, he said it hurt. The pain is out of 10.
And I didn't see his post game, but from numerous sources, I've seen that he was clearly frustrated, deflated.
And if you can
hurt.
sit there as a fan and call CC Sabathia selfish, I
Look what he did last year. He lost $500,000 to back up his catcher.
Yeah, well, that's not where I was even going with this, but that's an excellent point. I challenge you to walk into the Yankees locker room and say that to any one of the 24 other
You'd be
guys.
fucking killed immediately.
And Aaron Boone and Mike Harkey and Larry Rothschild and Brian Cashman, and say that to their faces.
You'd be killed immediately.
And tell them that you think CC Sabathia is selfish.
You'd be killed
Selfish.
immediately, and I wouldn't feel bad, and I don't think your family would feel bad either.
Whoever killed you might get away with it.
Probably.
The judge might be like, yeah, he might have a point.
Yeah, you know what?
So I'm sorry. If that was your take on CC, then you're dead wrong. And another
No
thing,
pun intended.
And yeah, well, you're the one that's
Murdering.
advocating for murder over there.
Really.
Anyway, and then the other thing is that here's the other narrative that was coming out of that. He's hurting the team. How is he hurting the team?
Seriously, we can't even put together enough pitchers for a postseason roster right now, but he's hurting the team trying to come back and pitch innings? What are you, a fucking moron? Seriously.
He's hurting the team. How? How is it his fault? Yeah, okay, he put the Yankees in a bad spot last night. On Friday night, he only gave him 3 innings, but they had a lead going into the 6th.
And I'm sorry, he's thrown, 7 innings in his last 2 outings? How many runs has he given up in those 7 innings? How many runs? 3?
He's
4?
not even him leaving after 3 innings is not the reason the Yankees lost on Friday night. They didn't hit.
Right.
And, Tommy Kahnle had a rare bad appearance.
There's certain scapegoats on this team that fans love to go to. Stanton strikes out too much. CC can't pitch innings. J Happ sucks.
Well, J-Happ
whatever,
does
right?
suck.
He does suck. But my point is, J Happ can go 7 innings and give up 2 runs, and the Yankees lose 2-0, and they'll blame him somehow. Instead of looking at the game and saying, well, our offense just shit the bed tonight, they'll just go right to that person that's the easiest to blame. They want to blame CC Sabathia for throwing 3 innings. How many runs did they score yesterday?
2.
You think that's enough to beat a team like Oakland, who has been red hot again after the All-Star break? No. You're going to have to score more than 2 runs. I'm sorry. It's honestly, it's people being lazy and not wanting to truly analyze the issue.
Well, you know
with
what
the game.
the issue is that Twitter, there's a lot of laziness on Twitter. Some dumbass tweets something, has enough followers that are like, I think that might sound right, so I'll retweet it,
Right.
and then it starts growing just like a spider web,
Right.
and then it just becomes a narrative out there.
Right.
And and you wish that it would stop. Now here we'll get into. Here's another one. You want to dive right into this one? Here's another one that Didi Gregorius should not start
Oh, Jesus Christ.
should not get a postseason start. He should be on the bench when the postseason starts because his WRC plus is lower than whoever the fuck else. First of all, if you're using analytics to dignify whether or not Didi Gregorius should start a game in the postseason, you just don't understand baseball, and you're going to call me an old man and I'm yelling at the cloud and I don't understand baseball. This is where analytics fucking lose me, because not everything is found at the bottom of your calculator, okay? There are certain things that can't be quantified by punching fucking buttons on a calculator.
Look, I've gotten to the point now in my life where I know analytics are taking over the game and I've become okay with it. And you want to tell me you want to construct a team over a 162 game season that is going to give you statistically what you're looking for, fine. But when it comes to October, there are guys that any statistic you throw at me, I don't give a fuck. Right? Aaron Judge, would you give a fuck what his WRC whatever is or his WAR at the time? No.
Oh, he's got his WOBA is below league. I don't give a shit. I don't care.
Analytics are a great regular season measurement.
They don't mean anything
But
in the
they
postseason.
Who won the World Series MVP last year?
Steve Pierce.
How do you think he measures up analytically?
Right.
I saw David Freese when he won MVP a while ago.
Didn't David Eckstein win an MVP, World Series MVP, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, I think that 2001 World Series.
Come on
against
now.
Giants.
You think that guy
It
was jumping off
goes-
the page analytically?
Analytics, 100%. I'm all on board for regular season measurements. They are a great way to determine how to win baseball games. But when you get into October, all of that goes out the window immediately.
You think that, seriously, first, I understand the Yankees are a very analytically driven team. That's how they find guys like Urshela and Voit and Tachman, and it works for them. But you think that Brian Cashman and Aaron Boone are going to be sitting in a room the day before ALDS Game 1 and be like, well, you know what? I think that we should sit Didi because his WOBA is lower than Edwin Encarnacion's. Okay.
Let's pretend like a guy like I can't even Torreyes was still on this team, right? You had like Torreyes, Mabin, guys like that. Just bench guys, and you had an extra spot. And then you want to dive into the analytics and see who you could use more valuably off the bench at that point. That's a different story, but we're talking about Didi Gregorius. You're going to tell me that your stupid sabermetrics and analytics and all that is going to determine if he should play in October or not? Come on.
I'm sorry. If Didi Gregorius is starting Game 1 in the ALDS, Didi Gregorius is healthy, he's starting Game 1 in the ALDS. It's just the way it's going to be. I just can't imagine a world where the Yankees are going to be like, well, your WOBA is too low, so we can't start you in the playoffs.
I mean, if you think
or your WRC, so we got Cameron Maben's got to hire one, so we'll try him out at shortstop. Give me a fucking break. Like, seriously.
If you just think about the Yankees' past 2 years in the postseason, Didi Gregorius has been at the forefront of it. I mean, he got them past the Minnesota Twins 2 years ago. If it's not for him, who knows if they win that game when they're trailing 3-0 in the first inning. He goes out there and hits a 3-run ding.
I agree.
Then he had another big home run against Cleveland. A couple
of them. Yeah.
Come on, man.
He's
Different ball game.
He's been clutch in the postseason, man.
With the depth that this team has, if you want to tell me that the Yankees get past whoever in the ALDS and Didi's 0 for 18 and he's just flailing, looking like shit at the plate, and you want to make a change because he's ice cold in the ALCS, yeah, I could buy that. But to start the postseason because you're just looking at bullshit analytics, and yeah, that's what they are. I don't care. Throw all the fucking analytics you want at me. When it comes to certain things like that, they're bullshit. They don't mean anything.
Here's the best argument to it. Let's just say Masahiro Tanaka didn't have any history in the postseason. He's had the year he's had, or over the last couple of years, where he's up and down, roller coaster ride, 4-something ERA. Are you going into the postseason matter-of-factly saying he is my number one starter?
Have I never seen him pitch in the postseason before?
Correct.
No.
Absolutely not. But Has he not proven himself in the postseason?
Yes.
Has he shown us that he's a bit? Has Didi done that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Plus,
So why are you even thinking it? Why?
and isn't this team really right-handed at the
Yes.
plate? And what does
Yes.
DD bat?
Lefty.
So would you want a lefty in the lineup to maybe mix things up?
And not only is he a lefty, but he's a power. He's turned
I'd call him
into
a power.
a guy who can hit a home run at any
Yankee
at bat.
Stadium, sure.
Didi, I mean, if you want to be fair, if you want to describe Didi Gregorius as 2019 at the plate, average at best.
Yeah, but we're also talking about a guy who was thrown into this thing coming off of a big time injury
No,
and didn't
I'm
really
just-
have the same
he's
preparation.
not
No, I know.
having
I'm just saying why I think that it hasn't been the best. It still just shouldn't be an argument for anyone.
No, look, here's what the problem I have with analytics is that you never use your eyes. You don't use your eyes.
Open your eyes.
Oh, look, this guy, and here's Didi. So we're going to, here, these three guys. And even though it doesn't make a lot of sense, to me, my best defensive team is probably, you have to, I would think if you're really trying to put your best defensive team out there, Didi Gregorius has got to play shortstop.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, see, I think the question isn't, is Didi Gregorius going to get a start in the postseason? The question is Luke Voigt going to get a start in the postseason?
Yes.
And I think the answer is no.
I don't think he'll be the definite starter every single day.
I think Edwin will be,
but I think they're going to mix and match.
Here's why a lot of this is stupid to even argue about.
Yeah.
Is we don't know what Urshela's injury situation is. We don't know
a
what
lot of players.
Same thing with Edwin Encarnacion.
Yeah.
Players.
Players.
Sliders.
But I'm sorry. You want to come at me? You want to tweet me and tell me I'm stupid? That's fine. I don't really care. But you cannot always get the answer. Woba, okay.
Is Woba real? Or
Yes,
do you
it's
just
weighted
like saying
it's weighted on base average.
Oh, that sounds really stupid.
And WRC is your weighted
Why
runs
does it have to be weighted? Well, why can't we just see what his on-base percentage is?
Because you have to use external factors and when the sun is out and
Gotcha.
if the groundhog saw a shadow.
How many high leverage pitchers he's facing versus bullshit arms out of the bullpen? What the score of the game is?
How long is Santa Claus's beard? Did you go see him at the Willowbrook Mall, at the Preakness
And let
Mall?
me say
All those things
something.
are important in figuring this out.
I got to say this. I love those. If I really dove into those statistics, right? If I really understood them, I'm sure I would love them, but I would never use them to truly evaluate players, because those statistics are great to really break down certain situations and what factors are playing into certain things. But at the end of the day, you got to use your eyes more than you use those statistics.
Yeah, I mean, they're great. This is analytics. To me, their best use is finding diamonds in the rough, finding guys like Luke,
Right.
Voigt, finding guys like
Right.
Gio Urshela. That's where they're best used,
agree.
in my opinion. Come on, now let's be fair. You have veterans of the game like Edwin Encarnacion and Didi Gregorius, and you want to say, well, Luke Voigt's not a veteran, but we've seen a decent amount of them. Are they really going to tell you something that your eyes aren't showing you?
No,
To me, they're not.
no.
I think if you want to use them to debate who should be your first baseman between Edwin and Voigt, maybe you can get
Maybe
me
you
there.
do it game to game though.
Maybe you can get me there. But to tell me that you're going to sit your starting shortstop when you don't even really have a true shortstop on your roster outside of him is ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
And like I said, you want to use that kind of stuff to structure a team to play a 162 game season and be successful and make it to the postseason. Hey, it works. But we're not talking about guys who are now valued by their statistics as far as the sabermetrics go. We're talking about guys who have proven themselves. Now, once you've proven yourself and have become a staple to that team, you're not looking into analytics the way some people are to evaluate if Didi Gregorius, guys like him, should be starting in the postseason. I'm sorry, you're not.
he hasn't been bad enough to the point where you can say to yourself, oh, I can't start Didi in a playoff game. He's been average at best at the plate.
And he has some big hits and home runs.
Oh, probably his biggest game was when he
L.A.?
in L.A. Yeah, when he told Dave Roberts, "Go,
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
fuck yourself."
Yeah.
After who did he walk in front of him? Was that Gary?
Sanchez.
Yeah,
Plus, you got to think too. What's the most games you could play in the postseason? 20 games, right? If you had the wild card and then you go best of 5, best of 7, 7.
Yeah.
So 20 games max. That's 20 games only. You can't measure anything in 20 games. That's such a small sample size. So how are you going to use analytics?
If your argument is Woba or his season that he's having, fine. My argument back to you is who's had some of the biggest hits in the postseason for the Yankees over the last couple of years?
And
Aaron
I'm telling you
Judge,
this right
Didi
now.
Gregorius,
If you use your analytics,
Greg Bird.
if you use your
Yeah.
analytics to put Didi Gregorius on the bench, and the Yankees are like, "Oh, that sounds like a great idea. That's what I'm going to do." All right, let's say you do that. That means Gleyber Torres is your starting shortstop. I don't want to hear a fucking peep out of you when Gleyber makes an error that costs the Yankees a couple runs at shortstop. Because that's
I
what you
agree.
wanted, right? That's what the analytics told you.
Right. I agree.
So back to CC Sabathia, right? Just yes or no? Has he pitched? Has he thrown his final pitch as a Major League Baseball player?
No.
Ryan.
Yes.
I don't see him going out like that.
I don't think he wants to go out that way, and it's the same reason why he's retiring. It's not that his arms, losing anything. It's his body is breaking down, and I think it hit its breaking point.
This could sound really stupid, but I think he'll be okay enough by the end of the year, even if he has to come in for literally one batter or one pitch to go in there.
You think he would?
Yeah, I don't think he.
You think he would do that though? Honestly,
Then
No.
That's
I
kinda
said,
selfish,
I
isn't
said
it?
by the end of the year, meaning everything's pretty much wrapped up. If everything's not wrapped up by then, no, then he has thrown his. I'm talking. It's got to be the last couple games, and home field has been locked up. Everything's been locked up. Then I see him coming back and throwing a pitch.
just to throw a pitch.
Just to face a batter.
I don't know.
I'm telling
more
you that-
prideful than that.
Yeah, I don't see him doing that.
Why?
I think
Because it's
why?
it's
to
an
throw
ego thing.
one
I
to
mean,
throw to a
Okay,
batter.
so maybe he's feeling better enough to get through an inning or something. I'm just saying that at the least, he would still come back to get his final, time on the mound and say goodbye.
I think he's got to say to Aaron. Aaron Boone's got to say to him, "CC, you got to give me at least. Can you give me 3? Can you give me 4?"
I disagree.
He's not. I just can't see him being the prideful guy that he is. Be like, "Yeah, Skip, I'm going to go out here and throw this baseball one more time, and that'll be it."
No, it wouldn't be something that CC comes to them and says. It would be something that the Yankees approach him and say, "Look, we got everything wrapped up right now. We want to send you off the right way. Would you be available to come in out of the bullpen maybe for an inning today if we needed you, if we wanted to call on you?" Yeah, I feel good enough to say that I can get through an inning. He comes in, maybe he throws to a batter. He's not feeling too great. He signals in, and that's it. But at least he's okay enough to be available for that day. I think that happens. And if he's not, CC will be the first person to tell anyone there that they need to shut him down, and that's it. He's thrown his final pitch. CC will be the one to say it. It won't be the Yankees. Anything that happens with him from here on out is on his terms.
What if he says it's on his terms? So what if he's like, "That's it. I'm starting game 1 of the DS."
No, you know what I mean, Dick.
So what if that team that the Yankees face in game 1 of the division series is the Oakland Athletics? Are we scared? Are we scared to face the Oakland Athletics? Because that was another thing. Even after probably even leading up to DJ LeMahieu's walk-off on Saturday was, oh man, I'm scared to face the Oakland Athletics.
Let me ask you this. If we face the Oakland Athletics, right, who's going to have home field advantage?
The Yankees.
Okay. And how many postseason games have the Yankees lost at home in the last few years?
2.
Okay. And last year, 2 years ago, who did the Yankees face in the ALDS?
That'd be the Indians.
Okay. And do you know how the Yankees faced off against the Indians during the regular season?
I'm sure they didn't do well.
They went 2-5.
Okay.
Were they scared of them?
Oh, they were scared.
Oh, yeah?
No, but you gotta understand something. It's different. It was different then. We didn't. Yankees Twitter didn't really exist in 2017, and those that were there really didn't care about this type. They
Right.
didn't have this type of crap going around them. Now it's like, it's always got to be something wrong.
Right. So my answer is no.
I'm scared. Oh no!
First of all,
Blake
you're not
scared
of anyone. You want to know why?
because you're the Yankees.
Because you have the best fucking record in baseball. That's number one.
I'm scared. Here comes Lee Trevino. No, not Lee Trevino. He was a golfer. What was the guy's name?
Blake Trinan,
No.
Cliff Lee.
Adam Trevino,
The
Adam
guy that
Ottavino.
This is why. Why do I even bother having
You're
you?
you're like 10 years older than both of us.
Listen, dickhead. The guy that gave up the game-winning home run today. His name is Trevino. Lee Trevino is a golfer, but I'm trying to think of what Lou Trevino.
Lou.
Oh,
Oh
close.
no! Oh no! Lou Trevino scared to face him.
Am I disrespecting the A's? No, they can be a good, scary team. They've been very good. They've been hot. Am I going to be scared to play? No, I'm not going to be scared to play anyone because I'm the best fucking team in baseball. I'm not going to be scared to play anyone, especially not at home in the postseason.
So you got to understand something about the regular season. It can be very quirky at times, especially based on when you play another team. Were the Yankees as bad as they really looked in Oakland? No, but Oakland really caught the Yankees, and this even goes beyond the Yankees' history there in the last 4 or 5 years. They caught them at a really bad time.
And listen, Christian, you say this over and over, and it's the number one thing in evaluating a regular season. A team is never as bad when they're playing their worst, and they're never as good as when they're playing their best. And that's it. Are the A's really this good? Since the All-Star break, are they really this good? Are they built to win a championship? Are they? Are the Oakland A's built to win a championship? Who's their best pitcher? Homer Bailey?
Think if you make the playoffs, anyone can.
I didn't say that though. Are they built to win a championship?
I don't really. Now, you know what?
We've evaluated so many of these Yankee teams and said, are they built to win a championship? I'm asking you, are the Oakland A's built to win a championship?
I don't. What did Ryan say? They lead the major leagues in blown saves this year?
Yeah, something like that. They have a lot of them.
Would you trust that bullpen?
Okay, here's another question. Are the Houston Astros built to win a championship?
Yes.
Okay, so why was that so easy to say yes to?
Because
they are built. The Oakland A's are not built. They are a hot baseball team right now. Could they beat the Yankees in the postseason? Absolutely. Anything can happen. Like you just said, Rye. But are you going to be scared of the Oakland A's?
The basis of everyone being scared is that the Yankees head-to-head this season have been pretty bad against Oakland. I forgot what I was even going to say.
Oh no, scared.
But you shouldn't be scared of a team that isn't better than you at any part of their game. Do they have better starting pitchers? No. Do they have a better bullpen? No.
No.
Do they have a better offense?
No.
Do they have a better defense?
No.
The only team that you can even have the thought of being scared of would be Houston because their starting pitching is vastly superior to the New York Yankees. That is the only team that you should maybe have some sort of doubts and hesitations to want to face in the postseason. That's it, because they're the only team in the American League that has an advantage over the Yankees in a specific category, and that's starting pitching.
I mean, if you're you want to. Some of these guys have looked really good against the Yankees over the course of the last week or so. But if you're facing the A's in the postseason, they're going to Brett Anderson, Homer Bailey, Mike Fiers, and Tanner Roark. I mean, that's going to be their rotation.
Brett Anderson was trash against the Yankees going into that start last night.
Yeah.
Well, I think he was 0-6 going in.
Yeah.
So, that was an aberration start for him. Homer Bailey, you going to be scared of a guy that had a 5 ERA going into before he started dominating against the Yankees? No. Are you going to be scared of Tanner Roark?
No.
Come on, man.
I mean, again, if this is what you're worried about, then, the Yankees should just, why even bother?
Again, just like we said a couple weeks ago or last week, the fans are just trying to find something to be negative about. That's all it comes down to. Like you said, if they win the World Series, but they do it in 6 games, they'll complain that they didn't do it in 5. There's just always something. Now the new narrative is Yankees better pray they don't play the Oakland A's in the postseason. Get the fuck out of here.
Sweeney Murdy was really, really pushing that. He's Yankees might be scared to face the
Sweeney Murdy is
Athletics
also
in the postseason.
Sweeney Murdy is also someone that is big in the media, in the New York media right now, and he knows that he's smart
Catering.
because he knows that that's going to be a topical conversation,
Yeah.
and he jumped on it. Is it? I mean, would any of you do that if you were a big name in the New York media? I know I wouldn't, but is he stupid for doing it? No. I mean, he knows that was going to get a lot of attraction.
Well, here's what, if I heard, it was on Twitter and I heard that, and I was like, and we were like on the fan, and was like the Yankees lead beat reporter and did their post games, and I wanted to come. Here's what I would say. I've been reading a lot on Twitter here that the Yankees should be scared of the Oakland Athletics. Let's have a logical conversation whether the Yankees should be scared of the Oakland
but where
A's.
did Murdy say it?
Where-
Didn't he tweet it?
No, he said it during the post
okay,
game.
then that's different. I thought he tweeted it.
Should the Yankees be scared of the Oakland Athletics? Here's my answer. No.
Because I thought he tweeted it and he was trying to get engagement and everything. If he was truly saying that on the post game that he said matter of factly they should be scared,
Yes.
then that's
He
just
said,
that's a
I don't
bad-
know. I
that's a
think
bad
the
take.
Yankees might be scared to face the Oakland Athletics. He definitely 100% used the word scared.
Scared or scared?
Scar-
Oh, yeah, he did say scared.
He was like, they're scared.
Yeah, he said they're scared.
I don't know, dude. Again, anybody, Oakland gets in there and they beat the Yankees. Would I consider that a major upset? Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
I would consider that a major upset.
Look, your focus in the postseason is the same no matter who you're facing, and no matter what game or what level in the postseason you are in. Why would you sit there and go, "Oh my God, we got to play the Oakland A's"? No, you're sitting there going, "Let's go. This is fucking game 1 of the ALDS." You don't give a fuck who you're playing. You're gonna win.
If
You know-
anything, I'd want to play the A's over anybody.
This kind of creeped up. I don't know if you remember. This kind of creeped up a little bit last year. The Yankees went to Oakland late in the season. They played like trash.
Yep.
Oakland was kind of nipping at their heels to take over the first wild card, and people were like, "Oh, scared to play Oakland.
Yep.
Definitely don't want to play them in Oakland."
Happened 2 years ago, also in 2017.
And then what happened? Oakland came to New York for the wild card game, and they folded. They folded immediately. Shit didn't
By
even
the
last an
second batter.
inning. Okay, it lasted 2 batters.
Yeah, who was that pitching? He was like some incredible.
Hendricks. So they went
Yeah.
with an opener in that
Yeah.
game. It would probably be a little bit different in a series, but
Yeah.
again, it's like again, could the Minnesota Twins beat the Yankees in the postseason? Yeah. Are these the same Minnesota Twins that the Yankees handled all those times in the postseason? No, it's a different team. But, when you get to New York in the postseason, things are a little bit different. And I got to see it happen before I can say
Exactly.
it.
And when you've had that much history as the Minnesota Twins against the Yankees in the postseason, or just in general playing in New York, that's in your mind. Whether they want to admit it or not, that's in their mind. The New York Yankees are not going into the postseason against the A's and saying, "Oh my God, guys, we've been bad in Oakland over the last couple seasons. We're not going to win."
I'm scared.
No, there's a different level of confidence because the Yankees have not been nearly as bad in Oakland as the Minnesota Twins have been over the years in New York.
Let's look at it logically. All right, right here, right? Before the season even starts, your ace and probably your best reliever land on the IL. Still haven't thrown a goddamn pitch all season long. Did that stop the Yankees from getting to the best record in Major League Baseball?
No.
Your captain, your leader, your best player, when he's playing at the level that he's playing now and showing everybody how goddamn good he is. And again, you want to talk about embarrassing takes, the shit that you heard about Aaron Judge leading up until he got hot. Oh, he's a bum. He sucks.
CMB had him batting 8th in the lineup. That's
Yeah.
what they wanted
Okay.
to do.
Mhm. Yeah,
Right?
smart.
The guy missed how many games?
Chomp.
Did that?
A good
Yeah.
chunk.
Okay. Did that stop the Yankees from getting to the best record in Major League Baseball?
No.
Giancarlo Stanton, former league MVP, on a bad year, hit 38 home runs last year, 9 games this year. Did that stop him getting from the best record in Major League
Nine.
Baseball?
No.
You got what? How many games you got out of Miguel Andujar? Probably about this, maybe 5.
Yeah, 5 really bad games.
Your best offensive player in 2018. Gone for the year. Did that stop him from getting the best record in Major League Baseball?
Hold on, let me think.
Didi Gregorius, Tommy John surgery. Did that stop him from getting the best record in Major
I
League
don't
Baseball?
think so. I might have to look that up.
I have to look that one up Baseball Reference updated
What
you?
about Aaron Hicks? Hasn't he missed time?
Oh yeah, Aaron Hicks. You know, he goes on.
Holy shit! I forgot about
Yeah,
Hicks.
yeah. Okay, exactly. Aaron Hicks, starting center fielder.
What's going on with him?
I think they just said he was finally cleared to resume throwing.
I forgot he was still on this team.
Aaron Hicks, Luke Voigt, Edwin Encarnacion,
It's the
Gio
whole
Urshela.
team.
Okay,
Next man up.
Gary Sanchez, all significant IL stints. Did any of them stop the Yankees from getting to the best record in Major League Baseball?
Nope. And now you throw on Gio Urshela, who's been phenomenal for this team. You have Gleyber Torres, who never officially made it to the IL, but he's missed time injured.
DJ too missed a couple games.
DJ was hurt
Few
for
games.
a few games. I mean, you go up and down the list.
The point of what I was saying about this is that the Yankees have dealt with all this adversity throughout the entire course of the season, when any other team in Major League Baseball, maybe you want to say maybe Houston, because Houston's dealt with their own share of injuries.
Yeah.
Okay, would have folded and would have just packed it in and said, you know what, guys, we're dealing with this many injuries. It's just not our year this year.
Yep.
Did the Yankees say that to themselves?
Nope.
So you think that even if they got swept in this series after getting swept in Oakland and they went 0-6 versus Oakland in the regular season, and then they would have saw them in the American League Division Series, you think they were saying to yourself, "Oh fuck"? You think that would have been their reaction?
Nope.
Okay, so this team has time and time again bounced back and showed you that they are strong mentally and are they're there for the long. Now, will they win a World Series? Time will tell. You can't say it. You can't say
You can't
definitively.
predict baseball.
No, you can't, Susan.
Thank
But
you.
to say that the Yankees would be scared about playing any team in the postseason is just utterly ridiculous.
Utterly.
You have anything else on your notepad there that you want to talk about? You want to talk about it?
You
Nah,
want to talk?
Nothing.
And that's another. There's another one. Oh, I love Mike Talkman. I want to have.
Talkman needs to play over Stanton. If
Yeah,
Stanton's healthy.
I want to have his babies. That's how much I love him. And now the guy's in a slump. He's back to being Mike Talkman. It's like,
And I still.
get this guy off the team.
You said it last episode, Christian. He could literally not even hit one more ball this entire year, and you're still praising what Mike Talkman did for this team.
Absolutely.
So I'm not devaluing him or what he has done for this team, but this is why we say time and time again, instead of saying, "Oh my God, Talkman's this, he's better than Stanton is for this team," instead of doing things like that, you have to take these guys for what they are and say, he's a filler. He's been absolutely great for this team. We love you for that. Time for Stanton to come back now.
Yes.
Time for this guy to come back now, because those are the guys who are here for a reason and get paid big bucks for a reason. And I'm not saying Talkman can't be great one day, but it's that quick that now he's slumping and he's a completely different
Who
player
should
in
I
your eyes.
rip right now? Because I ripped Mike Ford last episode, and then the guy
Ooh.
was just like, "Yo, dude, fuck you. I'm gonna go and hit a
Yeah.
bunch of dingers."
Dingies.
You know who needs it?
You know what? Brett Gardner needs it, I feel like. Who do you want to give it to? Who are you going to rip?
You know what? Fuck you, J.A. Hap.
Yeah,
Okay?
fuck you, Hap, you
suck.
fucking jerk off.
Yeah, really, bro.
He sucks. Get him off this team. I like this.
11.
better, dude.
Oh, I got 11 wins. I'm good, dude. You got a 5.57 ERA. You suck. Okay,
You suck.
you suck.
He
J.A.
sucks.
throws
He
a
shouldn't even be
no-hitter.
on this team. No hitter tomorrow.
The fact that I have to have major brain damage for even including you on a postseason roster, like seriously, major brain damage.
Okay.
That honestly, dude, like seriously, don't the Yankees have like some 16-year-old they signed out of a Dominican instructional camp that could
Yeah.
seriously?
Yeah.
Could we throw him out there instead
Sure.
of J Hap? Seriously,
Yeah.
J Hap's just like,
I actually heard the kid's never even pitched. He just threw really hard and they signed him.
here it is. Here's my 92 mile an hour fastball. And then he looks shocked when he gives up a home run on it.
Yeah.
That was actually
Bum.
the case for the Oakland Athletics. They signed a kid who was at a Colorado's Rockies game, and he threw 96 on this.
Yeah,
like,
you want to be
game.
afraid. That's a great. You want to be afraid of a team that signs guys
He was playing
When
one
they
of those
play
radar
fucking-
games, like a boardwalk game.
Okay, they sign guys off of fucking carnival games. And this is the organization you're afraid of, okay? The guy's playing a fucking carnival game, and they're like, give that man a contract.
Billy Bean has been
And we're
adapt or
supposed to be
die.
scared. Oh, no. Okay.
Billy Bean has been great with all the shit that he does and everything. But how many fucking championships has he won doing all this?
Settle.
Has he built good teams that seem to be competitive and stay relevant? Yeah. Have they won?
Absolutely.
Have they won a championship?
The Athletics, you'd probably say, have probably a top 5 best records the last 10 years in the regular season. Probably.
Definitely in the second half.
All right, here's you know what? Now I'm going to go home and watch this movie, but when you watch a sports movie, what's the end of the movie, right? It's always the big moment
And I
where,
want my scalp.
where the team wins that,
that was
big,
Inglourious
where the
Basterds.
team wins the big game, the big moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to say the ending of Moneyball?
What the fuck was the ending of Moneyball?
Yeah,
Scott Hatteberg had a walk?
No, the ending of Moneyball was that his daughter sang a song for him, and he went home and like was confident, and then they lost.
Remember Chris Pratt?
Yeah.
Pratt played Scott Hatteberg.
You know how
and
it
then
should have ended?
they
Scott
made-
Hatteberg.
It should have ended with his daughter saying, "Daddy, I'm really not proud to be your daughter."
And
because
then
you
that's
haven't
what it
won
was.
Anything.
Scott Hatteberg draws a walk. His on base percentage is now .390. The
Played
end.
by
Like,
fucking Andy from The Office. I mean, from Parks and Rec.
okay, so that's the big moment in Moneyball. Scott Hatteberg drew a walk. Okay, this is the team we're afraid of, and
Yeah.
maybe this comes back to bite me in the ass in October. Maybe,
Yeah,
but
and we'll replay. Was that his name in Parks and Rec? What was his name?
Andy Dwyer,
Andy.
Okay, it was Andy.
Star-Lord now.
Yeah, Star-Lord.
Star-Lord. All right. Okay. So tomorrow the Yankees and A's will wrap up their series. Sean Manaea, who,
His first game back since August of last year.
Yeah. What happened? He didn't have Tommy John.
I
Was it
believe he did
shoulder?
have. Maybe it
I
was.
thought it was
a
his shoulder.
Yeah. Sean
Well, he had a
Manaea.
significant injury. I'll say.
You
that.
know what? He was a good pitcher
Yeah.
for them against J.A. Happ.
Crap.
Just another Happ.
Hap.
Is that what it stands for?
Yeah. Just another bad start from J. Happ.
J Hap.
Just another happening to be a bad start. Sorry for you guys that on Mike Mussina Hall of Fame Day, you got to go and watch the fucking worst pitcher in Major League Baseball.
I like this.
I can't believe it. Like, seriously. Mike Mussina. I guarantee you that Mike Mussina can get more outs tomorrow than J. Happ. You want to put money on it?
I bet
Is
you.
he
can.
throwing first pitch?
You want to
tomorrow?
throw a shekel on it that Mike Mussina can bust off that knuckle curve one
Yeah,
more time?
tiny
Yeah, I want him to
schmackle.
throw a knuckle curve on the first
And then
pitch.
it's Labor Day, not Glaber Day. 1:05 start. Yanks Rangers. Mike Minor will oppose TBD, who is getting called up tomorrow.
Sweet.
Nice.
Deserved it.
And then we got Yankees. I guess the Yankees don't have anybody listed because
They haven't had anyone listed for the last few games, so
some guy named Jurado is pitching for the Rangers on Wednesday
Lance
or
Lynn getting the
Tuesday.
start?
Yeah, and then Wednesday, Lance Lynn
Cool.
will be taking the ball for.
What are Lance Lynn's numbers? Can you tell me?
He's pitching to a 3.77.
Good for him.
And that's another thing. I got this guy constantly in my mentions on Twitter saying the Yankees should re-sign Lance Lynn. No, they fucking shouldn't have.
Not for that
never.
money. I mean, he's making what 3 years, $36 million for the
This
Rangers.
is where we'll end this. I'm tired of this recent. It's called recency bias. I'm tired of this shit from fans like, oh, we should have re-signed.
and
Lance.
last year they were going, "Why the fuck did we sign this guy? He's
Recency
a bum.
bias.
He's old."
Great phrase there.
Like,
I like that.
why didn't we re-sign Lance Lynn? Because he fucking sucked. Because he sucked. Okay,
Sucked.
and because he's having a good year with Texas, we should have signed him. Look, you want to tell me that the again for the last? I'm not going to go into this. You want to tell me the Yankees should have thrown the extra year at Patrick Corbin? Fine, I will agree with you there. But again, the Yankees did that thinking that Luis Severino was going to be healthy this
Right,
year.
right,
Okay,
right.
so they didn't want to go. Okay, so that's fine. So now you're looking at.
Talkman.
The Yankees were looking to fill out the back end of the rotation. If you want to tell me that maybe where they should have went is Charlie Morton, okay, I can live with that. But
sure.
if you're telling me that the Yankees were going to re-sign one of the two guys that they made mid-season acquisitions for last year, not including Britton, including the two starters they got, Hap or fucking Lance Lynn,
Not even a question.
would you even put it
No.
in
No.
the put the thought in your
No.
mind that
Nope.
the Yankees should bring back Lance Lynn so he could grab his balls and spit on the mound and throw that
No.
junk cutter or two-seamer, whatever the fuck he was throwing last year. Yeah,
There's a lot of fastballs.
hey, great job by Lance Lynn pitching to a
Yeah.
sub-4 ERA this year in
Yes,
Texas.
I'm happy for him. I like Lance.
But
Lynn.
come
He's a cool
on,
guy.
you're gonna tell me, the Yankees should have given the money to J Happ instead of Lance Lynn? Get the fuck out of here! If Lance Lynn was pitching to a 5 ERA and Happ was pitching to even a 4 ERA, would you be saying that?
Nope.
Come
No.
on, I'm tired. You know what the Yankees are gonna do to Lance Lynn on Wednesday?
What?
They're
Light
gonna
his
send him
ass
to the
up.
showers in the 4th inning.
Okay.
Okay.
And this is Chris's favorite. So the Yankees, after we'll wrap up on this. After tomorrow, the Yankees have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 home games for the rest of the year. And out of those 9 home games, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them are on weekday nights. And they're going on everyone except for the Friday night against Toronto. They will be back to 6:35 starts.
Nice.
That Chris loves the 6:35 starts.
Yeah.
My wife just called us assholes
For
because she can't park right now. She called me an asshole for
Don't you have a driveway?
parking too far
Like a
up the
6
driveway.
A
that's not
7-car
my
driveway?
problem. I'm not parked in your
She called you an
driveway.
asshole. Now I gotta go, so I gotta go get my kid out of the car. He's probably sleeping.
Sucks for the kid. Anyway, yeah, so, happy Labor Day to everybody. Be safe. If you're traveling, don't drink and drive. Don't be a dumbass. They invented this thing called Uber.
Uber.
I don't know if you heard of it. Uber's not a sponsor of the show, but hey, Uber, come on, I'm giving you a fucking plug here. You can throw us a few shekels.
Do it.
Okay. Call him up. Call Stat Guy Rye. He's a loser. He's not going to be doing anything tomorrow.
Call me up.
Oh, that's
I'll
right.
call the game.
You might commit to a barbecue and not show.
A barbecue.
Yeah, I got a draft actually tomorrow. I'm not going to the game.
All right, that's why we did the show today. We thought of you today, Stat Guy
Thanks,
Rye.
man. I
All right, so
appreciate it.
everybody be safe. Enjoy the rest of your Labor Day weekend, and we will be back. I don't know, whenever the fuck we come back. So thank you for listening to episode 141 of the NYYST podcast. Please follow us at NYY Sports Talk. Stat Guy Rye
Go Yanks.
and Chris. Say goodbye.
Peace.